what is trauma?
Okay, trauma is a big thing, and it's basically an invisible wound that we have inside of us that happened when something happened to us that we couldn't express, we were not safe, we couldn't feel safe to share, and we felt like we couldn't get support for that bit. It's very easy to see the wounds when they're physically on the body, but it works exactly the same. An emotional wound is basically sits in there, it sits in the body and wait for an opportunity to be healed.
Right. So this is what Gabor Maté talks about, isn't it?
Exactly.
In his books, that trauma is actually what happens inside of us in response to what happened to us.
Exactly. And I think it's very, very important in work that we're doing about emotional health and so on, that people are very, very focused on what happened.
Yes.
They're focused on the story of what happened to me, where in fact the most important bit was how I felt about what happened to me. This needs to be healed.
Yes. And this is subconscious, isn't it? Because a lot of the time what happened to us happened when we were very, very young, and there wouldn't be conscious memory, but it's felt emotionally.
It's because the body keeps it inside the body. It keeps it. It's a survival mechanism. The subconscious basically takes that memory and hides it somewhere in the body, and until we are
ready,
strong enough,
able,
get enough support and so on in order to deal with that. Otherwise, it's basically a wound. Every time something touches this, it starts bleeding.
So these are what we call triggers, aren't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trigger is whenever something happened that sometimes you are not even aware of it, because it's just long memory, long time ago. We just talked about things that happened to us in childhood.
Yes.
That we didn't even think that they were significant, but every time something touches that bit, it starts bleeding again.
And are these because when people talk about trauma, they talk about big events and
so this is the second thing we need to be aware of. The first thing, as I said to you, the story of what happened is not as important as how I felt when that happened. The second thing that it's important to pay attention to is that the body keeps score of the little traumas, the big traumas. So most people think about this big thing.
So what kind of like abuse, physical, sexual,
someone
emotional,
died,
yes. Poverty, losing a home,
all those big things. But in fact, the body keeps score and remembers and hides those things that are small, like I asked for something and mom or dad said something that was very infuriating, or something that was insulting, or I mean, I'm not saying I asked for a clothes and they didn't give it to me, I'm very, very traumatic. It's not the idea. It's the feeling you had about not getting it.
And also not being heard and not being seen for the person you are.
Exactly.
Right? Like being able to be true to yourself.
And that happens, by the way, where, for example, you live in a house where, for example, one of the parents, two of them, are very, very critical.
Yes.
So basically that could be a traumatic event that keeps happening again and again and again and again, and it stays inside.
Yes. And that child then is not able to be their full self.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, we want you to stay tuned. Come and join us on our next videos talking about trauma and
its impact on health.
Yes.
Yes. So stay tuned and like, subscribe, share with anybody who you think is going to enjoy this. Bye.
Bye-bye.